my competitiveness made me very on my own. And I was a bit misunderstood in that sense. Do you know what I mean? I was hugely competitive, but I was just using it all in all the wrong ways. Yeah. And I had influence as well. I had influence, loads of influence. And teachers knew it, and they didn't like me because of it. But rather than using the influence to make sure everyone was progressing and getting better, I was just making them. You know, if I wasn't interested, I'm going to use my influence to make sure that none of you are interested either. Do you know what I mean? You know, and you know, I'm reading a book at the moment. I was talking to you about this the other day by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, in a bid to try and constantly learn more and try to become more effective. And it talks about being independent. So, you know, the first 3 habits are about you. You're getting your own house in order before you can start to do it for anybody else. And it's this transition from independent to interdependent, which is exactly what you've just been discussing. Is like you on your own, I'm a go-getter, do this, but then when you start to realise as you get older, maybe even when you're younger, that it's not just, you know, good to have other people from a social perspective. You realise you can accomplish so much more with other people around. Do you know what I mean?
But see, like, I put a lot down to, see, everyone wants to be the main man. It's ego. Mm-hmm. It's actually restricting their own progress, their own success. Because if you try and do everything on your own, it doesn't end well. Like even like people talk about, like, obviously there's mental health and whatever else. I'm telling you now, I've experienced burnout about 2 or 3 times in my life where I've been physically exhausted, where I've been hospitalised as a result of working myself to the ground. See, being the man who, and I know even we live in a politically correct world, but I always say I'm a man. So being the man who glamorises that I work 70 hours a week, I work 100 hours. You failed, mate. If you have worked to that extent, you're either got no home life, you've got nothing else going on, which I think is a little bit sad, or you're not productive. You're not doing things right. Like for me, and I never used to think this. I used to work to death. It's cost me relationships. It's cost me my sanity. It's cost me my health in the past. Now, I'm like, right, this is where my free time is. I build around that free time. I'd like to think in an ideal world that I'd work at this time, finish work at that time. I'd commit the majority of me evening or the week or the whole of the weekend would be to family, would be to friends, or would be to some level of personal development. But if you have to throw like 12-hour days, 7 days a week, banger every week, I think you've failed. If you've gone down that route. Now, having a network means that other people can lighten the load, but you can move forward at a level. I like superheroes, mate. I like the fact that you can get a team of people who are all top of the food chain in their own right, but they can all come together and just blow everyone's mind. And I like that. And I like looking at the Avengers as a prime example of that. Each of those characters, they've got their own backstory, their own storyline. You know, they've all got their own thing going. You bring them together, and then you've got a nice collective, and everyone's in perspective, and all them offshoots. And if you think about it in a marketing context, all that content where you associate him with him and him with her and all this together, and they've all coming together for the same reason, and they don't necessarily need to get on, but when push comes to shove, you know, why can't people just see that for what it is and work that way? Everyone be successful, everyone make money, everybody achieve what they wish to achieve while balancing it with a good home life and a good, you know, like good things going on. That's not just solely focused on conquering the world or defending the world. Do you know what I'm coming from? That's just what I think.